Yes, people, Ricky here from Behind the Bars TV. In this episode, I'm going to talk about some news from inside the prisons. Because obviously on this channel, I'm talking about prison talk, things that's happened in the past, things that's happening in the present, along with the motivation talks. But I've just got an app on my computer that sends us through all the different news inside the prisons daily. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the news this week. So a convicted killer has been caught with an 11-bladed chib up in HMP Glenochill. So up in Scotland, they must call it a chib. That's what I'm reading up on here. But down here, they call it a chiv. Obviously, it's the same thing. But he's been caught with an 11-bladed chib in the Clacks prison up in at Glenochill. He's facing further time. So a chib with 11 blades, and I've never heard so many blades in one chib. But this is he's been caught with a little bit of wood with 11 blades put in, so that's gonna be one hefty thick blade. That, so if you get cut with that, it's gonna leave some nasty wound. That. But I'll just get into who it actually is. So it says in the paper, a brutal killer who stabbed a father of 5 142 times is facing further jail time after being caught with the chib. Peter Allen, 33, is due for release in less than 18 months after being jailed for life nearly 14 years ago for the murder of Raymond Black in Mr. Black's home in Carluke, Lanarkshire, while his 2-year-old daughter slept in a room nearby. On the night of 2009 murder, Allen had been drinking with Mr. Black before attacking him with a lamp and a glass iron brew bottle and slitting his throat with a kitchen knife. He was found lying in a pool of blood with stab wounds to his head and body. 2 senior detectives said 48-year-old Mr. Black's injuries were the worst they'd seen in their career, and Mr. Black's family labelled Allen a filthy animal. Last Wednesday, November the 30th, Stirling Sheriff Court was told that warders at Glenochill Prison in Clackmannanshire had noticed Allen acting suspiciously as he was due to go out for exercise on April the 2nd this year. Prosecutor James Moncrief said he had a bulge in his pocket and he was asked to hand over whatever was in it. It was a homemade weapon, a 4.5-inch long piece of wood with 11 razor blades embedded in the end of it. He said he had it for self-defense. Appearing by video link and representing himself, Allen, whose address was given on court papers as HMP Glenochill, pleaded guilty on indictment to having a bladed article in prison. He said he'd feared for his own life after a prisoner he described as his best mate was murdered in Glenochill last year. Allen said they tried to charge me with it. After that, I just thought everybody was out to get me. Mr. Moncrief, the deputy fiscal, told the court Allen was referring to Dean Ramsey. Ramsey, 30, was choked to death by fellow inmate James O'Rourke, also known as Porky, 52, already a convicted killer, and what a judge described as a brutal execution. Now, if you look back on my videos, I covered this video, I think maybe it's about 4 or 5 weeks ago on Porky, about that murder, what happened up there. The court heard that Allen had initially appeared on petition for Ramsey's murder, but the accusation was dropped. Sheriff Derek Hamilton said that instead of imposing extra jail time immediately on Allen, he would call for a criminal justice social inquiry report. He said that might be unusual, but in the circumstances, given the murder conviction, the early release date, and the nature of this weapon, that will be effectively a risk assessment. Sheriff Hamilton deferred sentence for the preparation of the report until January 11th, 2023, when Allen will again appear before Videolink. The court heard that without extra time, Allen, who was given a minimum 15-year term in 2009, was due for release in May 2024. So we're nearly into 2023 now, so he would have been up for release in just over a year's time, May 2024. But obviously the nature of this offence, being caught with a bladed article with 11 blades in, which He said in his own admittance that it's for self-defense. But whether or not you're using it for self-defense, if you're a lifer and you're caught with an article like this and you're due for parole soon and you're still in a prison like Glenochill, you've got no chance. And he's got no chance of going for cat day, I wouldn't have thought either. So walking about prison with blades like this, there's only one thing going to happen if you're a lifer, and you're going to get... I wouldn't have thought they would put extra time on it, but I think, obviously, when he comes up for parole hearing, you'll probably get a 2-year knockback, which is just like getting a 4-year sentence, extra time on. So, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated on this one, people. But thanks for watching. Take care.